Into JJ, backing up. They doubled him outside AQ for three. Good! Akil Quinn. 4 out of 5 of his threes on the Wawanesa update here tonight for Akil Quinn. Looking for the trailer. That's Winston with a running 6-footer. Good! Shepard from Malik Pope. Found the trailer with a beautiful pass inside the paint. 58-29. What a day for Winston Shepard. Malik Pope. Long three. Good! Nothing but net. Hey, that's in his range. NBA shots are in his range on threes. They just are. He may be the best pure shooter on the ball club, and he's 6'10". And he's only a freshman. 61-32. Pope scores. He goes to 5.
It's 5:03 at Scott BR on the Mighty 1090. Good win last night against Wyoming, 67-41. Now, look, Wyoming is shorthanded. We all get it. Yeah. Their best player and a guy who's one of the leading, conference of the year kind of guys.
Couldn't play.
Larry Nance Jr. has mono and couldn't travel with the team. I thought Winston Shepard was really great after the game with Ted Leitner here on 1090 when he said, the unfortunate part is that Nance didn't play. Because I don't want them going back saying, well,
right.
If we had Nance, we would have won.
Yeah.
Because I wanted their best on the floor. So it was a great night last night for San Diego State basketball, the tribute to Tony Gwynn, his children being involved, the moment of silence for Tark and for Dean Smith. It was just a terrific night. Unfortunately, depending on your perspective, it wasn't like one of those classic games that was going to come down to the end. This thing was over real early.
Yeah.
And here to talk about it is the head coach of San Diego State, Steve Fisher, back on Scott and BR on the Mighty 1090. Hi, Coach.
Gentlemen, how we doing?
Doing really good. Yourself?
Doing good. It's always fun when you win.
Yeah, it was a good win last night.
It was. It was a good win, and wire to wire. And when you shoot the way we did, you have chances to create separation. And obviously, we made a lot of shots last night.
Yeah,
Coach, you were 10 for 20 for the 3 balls, and you just wonder where it goes when it leaves these guys, and they can't seem to get any ball to drop through the rim.
We've had that
too
many times. Most recently, Sunday, Boise, 2 for 19 from three-point range. So it was good to see our guys shoot with confidence. And you make the first one, the second one sometimes comes a little easier, but we had shots in rhythm. Our defense created offense. They turned the ball over 6 times in the first 9 minutes, and they're averaging under 10 turnovers a game. So our defense created opportunities, but you still have to make the shot. And we made shots.
Yep.
Coach, can you go through Akil Quinn's week? I'd been hearing that he had not practiced, and then he came out and he was on fire.
He sure was. When we got off the plane in Boise, we went over to shoot because it was an early afternoon game, and we weren't going to have a shoot-around on Sunday. So he was rubbing his leg, and I said to Tom Abden, our trainer, I said, there's something wrong with AQ. And he said, not that I know of. So I talked to him, and he checked him. He had swelling in his knee. So we didn't have him shoot, and we iced him. And then we talked, and Tom's a long-time NBA trainer, and together we said, it makes no sense. He knows how to play. He can learn what we want by watching. So he did nothing on Monday or Tuesday but sit, watch, and have treatment on his leg. And I'm sure that's what he'll want to do the rest of the season. So see what happens.
Well, I mean, listen,
good idea, Coach.
It's like he came out fresh, rested. Right. Who knows? How about Winston Shepard?
He sure did.
Yeah.
He had fresh legs for sure.
Coach, I feel like Winston Shepard is like the most criticized guy on this basketball team. And sometimes this kid, even on a night like last night where he had 18 points, he just can't do enough to satisfy this fan base. He's not Jamal Franklin, and he's not Kawhi Leonard, and he's not X Thames, and yet the guy just goes about his business. He plays great defense, he rebounds, and when he was on, like he was last night, I mean, he can produce big numbers for you.
If he plays like he did last night, that'll add another huge dimension to our team. He was at his best. He took care of the ball, he took good shots, and he made them. His defense and rebounding have been the most improved parts of his game that they don't show up on a stat sheet. The rebounding does. He's our leading rebounder, but he played really good basketball. He knows it, He felt good about himself after the game. His dad was in town to watch him play, and that was neat, too, to have Dad be there and watch him have a terrific game. So it was a good night for Winston. And, again, when he plays the way he did last night, we're a significantly better team.
Yeah. Coach, I was telling Billy Ray that I ran into one of these mock draft deals for the NBA, and Malik Pope, who last night was 2 for 6 from the field, scored 5 points. 2 of his points, spectacular way. He drove to the rim and then went underneath and with the left hand on the opposite side. The kid is a smooth operator on the floor, but he's hardly your star at this point. And yet, he was listed as the number 25 pick potentially in this year's NBA draft. Wow. Just a question. Is there any fear, or at least is there any dialogue between you and him right now about what he's planning on doing? In my opinion, he's not even close to being ready for the NBA, but he's a tall guy with a nice shot, and he's been hurt a lot in his career. So is there any dialogue at all?
No, we have not. We've had none. We will. And I would ask, what mock draft did you get on? There are probably 100 of them. Most of them are not truly creditable. Malik's going to be an NBA player, in my opinion, and it's a question of when. So we've had multiple scouts at our practices since we started in October, and Malik didn't start practicing with us early, but the NBA scouts have been in our building watching a lot of guys, including Malik. So I don't think he's a surprise to NBA people that he's had some games where you say, boy, oh boy, like you have. Why isn't he starting? Why isn't he playing more minutes? Why isn't he doing more of this? But at the end of the year, Malik and I will talk, as I do with anybody that is contemplating. And I don't know. I haven't talked to him. I don't think he is right now. But you know how the business works. There is there's a form you can fill out, send to the NBA. We've done it in the past. We'll do it again, not only for Malik but for others, where you'll get anywhere up to 20 of the NBA clubs, and it's not the head coaches, but it's someone that's watched teams play. They will give you an evaluation of what they think. It's not 100%. They will not put it in writing. They will tell it to you over the phone. And we've done that, and it's relatively accurate in terms of how they view you. It could be a general manager. It could be a lead scout. But it's someone within those organizations. So they'll tell me, okay, they say, here, seven squads say Malik is a low first-round draft pick. 10 say that he's a second-round draft. You'll get that type of feedback from them, which is fairly accurate. So we'll do that, and that feedback will come shortly after the NCAA tournament.
All right, well, let's just hope that we get at least another year out of this young man and watch him develop and play with his classmates that we were all so excited for. Coach, as far as Jamal Franklin being in the building last night, I'm not sure how aware you were. I'm guessing you were. But given that he was sitting courtside, the players seemed to be really inspired to play in front of him as well. There was a lot of chattering going on between Jamal and the guys on the floor. Did he talk to the team at all, perhaps, before the game?
No, he did not. He came in the locker room prior to the game when the players were on the floor to say hello to the coaches. He was in the locker room after the game. We love Jamal. We love the fact that he wants to come back. His mother has been to a lot of games. She was at the game with him last night also. So it's nice that they want to come back. Jamal was also at our game in Nevada when we played. They were playing the Reno D-League team the day after we left. So I believe that on Saturday, the Colorado State game, we're going to have Brandon Heath down, and
Kawhi's coming.
Kawhi's coming, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Kawhi's going to sit in those nice seats. I got booted.
Well, you don't mind that, do you?
No, I'd gladly give up my seats to Kawhi.
Gave Kawhi his seats instead of you?
Yeah, no, I gladly get. Hey, listen, Kawhi, you're the man. Look, to have the MVP of last year's finals who's available during All-Star break to come home to San Diego State, what an ovation Kawhi Leonard's going to get. And you talk about inspiration for this team who's got to win this game against Colorado State, it's going to be great to have Kawhi in the building, Coach.
He was back last year. He and Malcolm Thomas and I think Jamal, all three were in the building during All-Star Week. You know what's really neat is the fact that they want to come back, that they feel connected and they want to take their free time and be in San Diego with our basketball team. That's the neat part about it.
Yeah, it really is cool. Coach, talk to us a little bit after this win last night. It was a big win. It was never in doubt. But again, they were a man short, and that certainly had an impact on the game, no doubt. Here comes Colorado State, and this is another one of these teams that when you went on the road, they went bombs away early on, and you had to fight your way back into it. But now they come here to Viejas. What kind of game do you expect this week?
It will be a very, very physical, aggressive game on both sides of the ball. Larry Eustace, their coach, does a terrific job. He's aggressive. He's aggressive with the officials, and his players are aggressive. They beat us up in the last game. They said in the paper, and they were quoting really what Coach Eustace was saying to his team, the tougher team, it's not about X's and O's, the tougher team will win the game. And they were the tougher team. They've got more of the 50-50 balls. They pushed us over screens when we tried to come off ball screens. They wouldn't let us use the screens. And they were the aggressor more often than we were. Not that we backed off, but if you watch the game in its entirety, you would say probably 65-35 Colorado State in terms of dictating the pace of the game with how they played.
Right.
And we got to change that. And usually you play better at home, but just because you're at home doesn't mean you're going to be successful. We're the only team in the league undefeated at home. We want to keep it that way, and they want to change it. They're one game behind us now. Yeah. So it's a huge game for both teams.
Coach Steve Fisher, Saturday. I'll tell you what, Coach, the crowd last night with Tony Gwynn Jr. being part of the I Believe chant and his daughter singing the national anthem so beautifully and his brother at halftime getting Tony's championship ring. I mean, just tremendous emotion in the building last night. But Saturday's the game of the year. This is the game to be at.
The emotion last night, Scott and BR, was incredible. And you made reference to all of it. Our players came out.